Royal Lifesaving Society is launching a new campaign today aimed at educating young men of the risks of drowning. Nearly 2,900 people drowned at inland waterways over the past decade. 80% of those were men, would you believe? So joining me now is Craig Roberts, the National Operations Manager at the Royal Lifesaving Society. Thank you very much for joining us. So rolling out the campaign, tell me about it.
Yeah, the campaign, Make the Right Call to Look After Your Mates, is a campaign really trying to educate males 25 to 45 years of age about the dangers of our inland waterways. They are the leading location for drowning in Australia, and we're really asking males to look out for each other, look out for their mates. Typically in our inland waterways, there aren't any lifeguards. They're often some distance away from any sort of emergency services. So the first point of call is really your mates and your people that you're recreating with as well.
Just elaborate on what inland waterways are for those who might not be across that.
Yeah, inland waterways is anything
Lakes.
like a river, lake, dam, lagoon, in those sort of spaces, and we've got some of the most beautiful inland waterways in the country. But unfortunately, too many people are drowning, especially men, and often it's alcohol, not the use of life jackets and things like that that are getting men into tragedy.
Yeah, well, I would have thought that it would mostly, I would have thought, had to do with booze. You take these risks, you jump off a boat or you do whatever.
Yeah, unfortunately, alcohol consumption is happening too much in and around our inland waterways. It's approximately 30% of all our male drowning deaths in inland waterways are men. And what we do know is it's not just a little bit of alcohol as well. Some of the people who are drowning in our inland waterways are 3-4 times the legal driving limit at their time of death. So it's a lot of alcohol in and around our waterways. And it's not just swimming as well. We know about 20 to 25% of these drowning deaths are people who are falling in, not intentionally going into the water.
So there's ads rolling out today. Can you tell us about that specific campaign?
Yeah, this is a national campaign which we're doing in partnership with a range of media outlets, TV campaigns, radio campaigns, social media campaigns, which will last all through summer, all through Easter, going through Anzac Day, a range of activities in every state and territory, really targeting those men to make some safe decisions and look out for each other.
Yeah, so do you have the stats? I'm not sure if you do. I mean, you talk about inland waterways, but, you know, do you have accidents that take place at beaches? Do you have accidents that take place in private pools, that sort of thing as well? I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
Is that factored in?
Yeah, it certainly is. So inland waterways is about 40% of the total drowning deaths in the country. Beaches are closely followed by about 33% in that space. And typically that's our adult males in that environment. And then it's your sort of home pool environment with your young kids under the age of 5, which makes up the other portion of those significant factors.
Recent example of something happening to someone where, you know, booze may have been involved, where they haven't calculated the risk enough.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's a lot of examples in this space that we've seen over many years. Just recently, there's been incidences where a gentleman jumped off a rock with his mates in the space. We don't know the full details of that incident at the moment, but it's really about that safe decision-making. Check the water beforehand. What's the conditions underneath? Is the water moving, flowing too fast? Those simple safety measures can avoid some of these tragedies. Is
this a rare move to make this campaign? And if so, why? Or is this something that you do kind of every year?
Royal Lifesaving does a number of campaigns. Really Keep Watch has been a campaign that we've run for a number of years, almost 25 years now, targeting mums and parents around kids and backyard pools, which has been a significant issue. But certainly inland waterways has really risen over the last 5 to 10 years as a key campaign and a key issue. And our inland waterways are the leading location, so we really need to address it. It's a different message as well. We're typically not dealing with young children, we're dealing with men and adults who should know better and typically are getting themselves into trouble.
Do you find that it works, these kinds of campaigns? Because, I mean, I would have thought people are out there, they're at Christmas time, it's New Year time, booze is inevitably going to be involved, and then what happens, happens.
Yeah, one of the great things that we've seen since this campaign started and the inland waterways strategy that we've been looking at in this space over the last 5 years is that we've actually seen a reduction in inland waterway drowning deaths across the country. Now, there's a range of factors that occurs, and drought is one of those factors of less people going in. But over summertime, it's really an issue. We see 40% of our drowning deaths occur over summertime, and that's really where most people are going to these isolated locations. They're local people as well. These are not international tourists that are drowning in our inland waterways. They're locals. They're going to these inland waterways and they're getting into trouble. And so that's where we are seeing a difference, but there is a lot to do.
I'm not sure if you've got these stats or if there's a particular breakdown on the total number and, you know, if a certain state is faring worse than, say, others.
Yeah, depending on how much you look at it. Total numbers, certainly New South Wales has got 7 of the top 10 inland waterway locations in the country. So it's certainly up there. But in terms of per population numbers, we see the ACT and Canberra and South Australia actually lead our drowning numbers per the population numbers. So it is a national issue, and it's local men getting into trouble in their local rivers with their friends and with their mates, enjoying it and having fun.
So those stats that you just mentioned there, is that total or is that just for the blokes?
So 80% are the blokes, so it is also the total as well, because it's such a large number of our males getting into trouble in our waterways.
All right, well, thanks for coming in today, Craig. Really appreciate that, and a warning out there for everybody a reminder again to be careful. Huh?
Pleasure, thank you.
Craig